Hola, buenas tardes. Creo que ya
Hello,
quedan pocas
everyone.
calles, ¿no? A estas horas.
I think only the brave people
Gusto estar
are still
aquí.
standing now. So it's a
Es un
pleasure to
festival
be here
que
with
estoy
you.
fascinado, no lo
This is a
conocía y
festival
lo estaba comentando a la
that I
gente
found
y
amazing. I didn't
me
know
parece
about it,
espectacular.
and
Soy
I
Javier
love the last
Esteban,
speaker.
trabajo en
I'm Javier
Telefónica. Lo que
Esteban.
pasa es que no trabajo en la
I work at
Telefónica de las
Telefónica,
chicas
but
y
I
el
don't,
cable,
I don't
que es una
work
buena analogía
at the
que se consigue.
Telefonica company of the cable
Yo
girls,
trabajo
even
en
though it's a
Ingeniero
good
de la
analogy.
Telefónica, ¿vale?
I
De
work at a
hecho,
different
quería
Telefonica.
mostraros hoy como dos ideas, ¿no? Una es que
And
os voy
today I
a
want
comentar
to
una de
show
las
you
mejores
two
experiencias
ideas.
que he
I'm
vivido
going
en
to
Telefónica y la otra
tell you
es
about one of
cambiar un
those
poco
experiences
la
I've had at
imagen que se puede
Telefonica.
tener de
And
Telefónica
on the
y
other
de
hand, I
otras
want to change
empresas
the
más
image
de esta
we may
virtual
have
que
about
yo
Telefonica,
tenía
which is a
anteriormente.
usual image, and I had it before joining.
Antes de nada, os voy a enseñar un poco quién soy yo
So first of
para
all, let
que
me show
despejemos
you
un
who I
poco
am,
ese mito de que
so you
Telefónica
may
es una cosa a lo
see
mejor de una visión muy cuadriculada, ¿no? Una empresa muy
that the
antigua, eso más
break
bien gente
of
que
the
va
myth of
con visión de
Telefonica being a
negocio.
giant that is very
Yo acabo de
square-minded
pasar mucho ahí.
and
Soy la
advancing very
persona,
slowly
este soy yo,
is something where I don't fit. This is me.
siete fotos.
Here's a
Soy una
summary with
persona muy
just 7
activa,
pictures. I'm very
me gustan
active.
pues, mucho la música, me encanta, soy
I love
músico y pianista.
music.
Me gustan mucho los
I play
deportes,
piano.
simplemente
I
si
love
hay una tabla
sports,
por ahí debajo de mis pies, pues
especially if
estoy
there is
encantado.
a board under my feet.
Tengo
I
una
love
furgoneta que
it.
voy por ahí, una camper
I
van y
have
tal.
a van. I travel
Tengo
around
dos
my
perras
camper
que
van,
las amo, Doa y Maui.
always with my two dogs,
Y bueno, mi parte más así
whom I
rara,
love.
creepy,
And
es
my
el tema de las
weirdest
ballenas, ¿vale?
part
Me
has to
flipan,
do with
los temas de
whales.
las ballenas. Esto no tiene
I'm
nada que ver con
amazed
Telefónica,
by whales. I love
pero me
them. I
fascinan.
had to say it, even though
Y
it
tal,
doesn't have
somos
anything to do with
tipos de
Telefonica.
friquismo, ¿no? Que nos hemos comprado una
And
casa
I'm
que se
such
llama
a
Cam
freak
Whale. E incluso hemos iniciado un proyecto en Instagram,
about whales
porque es
that we
una
bought a
zona
house and
turística,
call it Cam Whale. It's a bit of an old house,
y le hemos llamado al proyecto Cam
and we
Whale en
have
Instagram. Y
an
ese es mi
Instagram
friquismo.
project
Y por
to
la parte
renovate it. We
más
call it Cam Whale
profesional,
on Instagram.
también vamos a hablar
And on the
de
professional side,
también que se acerca más un poco más a mi
I
realidad.
like to speak about another series that has to do
Yo
more with my
inicié
reality
estudios en la
nowadays.
UPC,
I
hice
began
una doble titulación
studying at
de
the
ingeniería,
UPC. I had a double degree in engineering.
se llamaba antes, ahora ya ha desaparecido todo eso,
It used to
en
be
telecos
called
y en electrónica.
higher engineering,
Y después hice el
telecom, and
máster
electronics.
también de
And then I
electrónica.
did my
Y
master's
para
in
acabar estos
electronics.
estudios, pues me fui un
And
año
to
a
finish
Los
those
Ángeles a
studies,
estudiar
I
a
went to LA
Telefónica
for a
del
year
máster. Según estaba allí,
to do
ya
my
apliqué para
master
entrar en
thesis.
Telefónica y en
And then
2011
applied
entré
to join
con las
Telefonica.
becas
In
estas de
2011,
Talentum, que no sé si las
I
conocéis, pero
joined
os
with the
animo muy
talent
fuerte a
grants,
considerarlas
Talentum grants are called.
porque
If you don't
fueron
know them, please
desde
bear
2011.
them in mind,
Así que tres
because
puntos. Vida
that
laboral
made me
bastante corta, pero ha sido muy intensa y
join
muy guay. De hecho, bueno,
Telefonica in
y
2011.
a
That was my
partir
first
de ahí
employer, and I'm still here
creo
today.
Preventa, que se le llama, que
And
es una
I
filial
was
ahora solar.
a pre-sales
Y en
engineer.
2013 empecé a ser ingeniero
And in
preventa
2013, I
especializado en temas
became
de
a
ciberseguridad.
pre-sales engineer
Estos son
specialized in
proyectos, pues
cybersecurity.
lo que decía antes, ¿no? Que no tiene un poco
And
que
as I
ver
was saying
con el tema
before,
de las chicas del cable.
this has
¿Habéis visto
nothing
Mr.
to do
Robot?
with the cable girls.
¿Conoces a
Have you
Mr.
seen
Robot, no?
Mr.
No sé si
Robot?
hay
Please raise your hand if you have.
¿vale? No hay muchas, pero
Okay.
bueno, algo hay.
Not many
Pues
people,
sabéis
but
que
some.
el protagonista principal se
So
llama
you may
Elliot
know the
y
main
trabaja en una empresa
character
que
is
se llama
called
Allstate,
Elliot,
¿no?
and
Y
he
esta empresa
works
lo que hace
at
es
a
dar
company called
soluciones
Allstate.
de
And
ciberseguridad
that company
a Evil Corp.
gives
Que al final,
professional
este propio Elliot, ¿no?
cybersecurity
Pues quiere
services
saquear la
to
empresa.
Evil
Pero bueno,
Corp,
da esos servicios,
who
pero
is the
dentro
hacker to the
de
company, but
Telefónica.
they give those
Pues mi
services
trabajo
that
a
try
día de hoy, como ahora
to
mismo, es un poco lo mismo, ¿no? Y desde el 2013.
protect Evil Corp.
Telefónica tiene toda
And that's
una
what I do
sección
since
que se dedica
2013.
al mundo de la
Telefonica has a
ciberseguridad muy
section
potente
dealing with
y damos
cybersecurity, very
servicios de
powerful,
ciberseguridad a todo
and
tipo
we
de
give
grandes
cybersecurity
empresas en
services
España.
to large
Siendo yo
companies in
de
Spain.
Barcelona, yo
I
soy
come
de
from
Barcelona
Barcelona.
ciudad también.
I need to live by the sea, by the way.
Y bueno, en esa parte de Cataluña, pues yo estoy
And in that
metido
part
en
of
el mundo
Catalonia,
de la ciberseguridad. Y al final, pues
I work in
aconsejamos, soy un
cybersecurity.
responsable de la solución técnica, de la
And
arquitectura,
I give
para ayudar a las
advice, I deal
empresas
with
que, bueno,
technical
pues pasemos
solution and
hasta
the
aquí, ¿no? Que no les
architecture
pase
to help
lo que le
companies not to get
pasaba
hacked,
a Belcorp. Yo
like
trabajaba
Evil
trabajando en todo
Corp
este tema de la ciberseguridad,
went through. So I used to work in
fue un poco
cybersecurity.
imposible, ¿no? Justo antes estaba hablando con unas
And when you do
compañeras
that, you
y
become
estábamos
very sensitive. I was
comentando
talking
el
to my
proyecto
colleagues
de las
before,
contraseñas y todas
and
estas
we were
cosas.
talking about
Y al final,
passwords
pues
and
con
all
mis
those
amigos yo
things.
siempre les pregunto, oye,
And
¿qué
with
tipo
my
de
friends,
contraseñas
I usually
utilizáis?
ask, so which kind of password do you
¿Cuántos de
use?
aquí podéis levantar la mano utiliza una única contraseña para todas
Which
sus cuentas?
whom
No seáis
here,
tímidos, ¿va? Que no
who
pasa nada,
here
no vais a
uses the
levantar la mano
same
todos.
password for all your
Vale,
accounts?
muy
I'm not going
sencillo.
to tell you off.
Y contraseñas
Okay,
en
just a
plan
few people.
simples, 1, 2,
What
3,
about
Superman,
simple
Spiderman, mi cumpleaños.
passwords like Superman,
Casi todo,
Spider-Man,
¿vale?
my
Simple,
birthday?
simple y encima. Bueno.
Okay,
Y
it was
por
simple and
último,
you only have one,
¿quién la
so that's
escribe
bad.
una nota en el móvil porque no se acuerda las contraseñas.
So who writes them on their mobile phones because they don't remember them?
Vale, pues
Okay,
igual de mal que el resto,
that's
¿vale?
quite bad. That's very
Entonces, a
bad.
mis amigos, cuando pasa esto, que es lo habitual, les aconsejo, oye,
So
pues,
this often happens, and I usually tell my friends, you should have a password manager, like 1Password, Touchline, LastPass, the many you may use and find on the internet, and they're wonderful.
Y a partir de aquí,
And hereafter, I said, well, I'm helping my friends, but I'd like to go beyond. Because yes, we'll stay here. And that's it. So how can I reach more people? And since I work at Telefónica, such a large company with such great potential and focus on helping people, what can I do to change the life of people in cybersecurity? And then we got the innovation call. That's a call to innovation, but it was about entrepreneurship. The actual company said, so within Telefónica, there are so many people that we must know about these things. So maybe, like I was working in engineering, but somebody else may be in marketing or operations, wherever, but we might not be in a position where we may suggest this set of ideas. And this is done regularly and aims to give those opportunities. So as a worker, you suggest your ideas regarding innovation. The aim is to be disruptive. And we said, okay, so maybe this is our opportunity because we work at a company focused on innovation, concerned with people. And this has been proving with pandemic, for example. We've been working full throttle for communications to be always stable. And we had a massive traffic growth, and we had our meetings, families, friends, and we transformed our classes, our houses into schools, offices, piano classes in my case. But we really focused on the fact that people should keep enjoying their usual lives. So we set a team with a couple of friends coming from different areas, so that we could have a powerful innovation team, and we presented our idea. We went through different stages, and we presented that to the general committee at Telefónica, to the top managers, and they gave us a green light, and we began our innovation adventure in Pulse ID for entrepreneurship. Pulse ID is a system aiming to eliminate passwords from our lives. You shouldn't need to use a password manager or store them in your mobile phone or be concerned about whether they're easy or difficult. Pulse ID. And we managed to do that. There was no research for what we wanted to achieve. I'm going to do a dramatic pause here. And your next password will be your heartbeat. A round of applause, please.
Sí, pero queda poético, pero es verdad. O sea, justamente.
It's quite poetic, but it's true. Your heartbeat is what we took through these bands, through these bracelets or any smartwatch. I'm sure you have some. It has different lights, and those are the sensors, and those take your pulse signal and process it. So we've talked about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all those things. So that's the future. Before we were talking about that with people from Escuela 42, which will be the next presenters. So it's like a model similar to Touch ID. You enroll, it gets images, and it works in the same way. So with it, we managed to avoid and eliminate passwords. No one had done it before. We were a bit lost, looking for scientific documentation. But our heart is unique. Our ECG is unique. In fact, there are companies, and here there is WeHive Wavelength. It's a company that does bands with ECGs, with ECG prints. So we use this kind of band for the system, and then we bought another one with lights. So you had to touch above, there was an electric circuit, 2 dots, we didn't like it, so we wanted to just work with the system without any fuss. So we got a lot of feedback from many people, and we created that system. But I don't come from that world. I come from cybersecurity. I work there, and in fact, I'm amazed by cybersecurity, but I do not know that much about neural networks. So we have Telefónica Digital, Telefónica R&D, Business Accelerator. So there are many possibilities for knowledge. So what we did was to take advantage of this with different areas, so they really helped, and they helped us to develop all these projects. So we got the first prototype, we got it to work, and then we have the opportunity to go beyond, because when you have this kind of idea, your aim is to sell it, isn't it, and to get cash and money.
In this case, we wouldn't earn anything because it was Telefónica, but at least that's exciting. So what we did was to go and visit customers. Well, if you have a startup, to have a cold door of a company just as SEAT or Telefónica, that's really difficult. But in Telefónica, well, it's not that difficult. I'm an engineer for big companies, and my job is to work with these companies. So we have this contact. It was like we had the chance of going to SEAT, Grifols, Sicosa, and it was very well accepted. So we continued with its development. In the end, that was well, we needed some time because you need to have many samples, you need to make it more sophisticated, and that's following its path. So it was so new that we had the chance of having a couple of patents, one for Europe and another one for the US. We had that request. They're still in process because that's in the world. In fact, there's a specific area in Telefónica Tech that that they really deal with all this stuff. As time has gone by, as it was being developed, it was 3 of us in the team, so we didn't need so many people to develop it. So I went out of the team, and I was a pre-sales engineering in cybersecurity. And my great experience didn't end up here. I had the chance of being part of the jury of Start4Big. I don't know if you know it, but in the end, it is another innovation program where Telefónica participates. In this case, it is from outdoors. I mean, it's on a global scale. Telefónica, La Caixa, Naturgy, and SEAT went together to have an innovation program so that everybody that wants to have ideas or projects has a possibility of launching it in the company. So in these companies. So it was amazing. Many projects, a great amount of talent. And this is why it has been one of the best experiences that I've had. So that was it. I've run out of time. Thank you very much for paying attention to me. And well, the last sentence. Yeah, sorry. I love the sentence. If you want to go fast, then walk alone. That's what you could think. If I want to be an entrepreneur, I will have my idea, etc. But if you want to get far, then go together. And now, thank you.